Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just a body punching?
I was hitting him with body punching. I heard him actually, he was crying in there.
You were saying that Biggs was crying when you hit him? When did that happen?
And perhaps the fourth round on.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time.
Absolutely, but I knew he was tough and he was taking those punches.
Quality Realty Productions.
Making women gestures like,
Let's go, champ. It's the champ. It's the champ. With the fake champ. With Alex Riley. Let's go. ThaBoxingvoice.com. I'm a team like he's a C-plus fighter. I'm a dominator fighter. I'm talking about punch. We're going to punch you for 12 rounds. Either the referee says you had enough, or you can say you had enough, or you can stay gassed all night until you ain't had enough. Man, I feel I'm the best in the sport, and to be the best, you got to beat the best. And all I did was beat opponents. I worked my way from the bottom to the top. I won a title by beating top.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We jumped in at the right time. As the intro says, to be the best, you have to beat the best. And Jermall Charlo has definitely quoted those words on his social media. The young Jermall Charlo, who is or was currently the IBF junior middleweight champion, coming off a huge uppercut knockout win. Kind of an after effect. He didn't actually score the knockout with the uppercut, but it was what led to the ultimate demise of Julian Williams. But we will be talking about what's next for Jermall. He vacated. Who's next? Should he fight the best? Go straight after Triple G? I don't know. Let's head on over to the Golden State. Matthew Hunter, talk to me.
Hey, Ness, what's up? Now, this breaking news yesterday was big to me. I thought we could have done a whole show on it yesterday before we even did our Thursday regular show. I thought it could be a topic. And, I knew we hit on it yesterday, but I really wanted to do a whole show dedicated on it because Jermall Charlo is a name at this point. I think that he could be a star. I was there live when he beat J-Rock. I was in that Gallon Center at USC, and even though he was showered with booze, and it was like there was so much hatred on Charlo after that fight because of the way the fight ended and how he didn't want to talk to J-Rock afterwards. But that's a star-making performance. It's a star-making post-fight antic too. If you can't make him love you, make him hate you. And I think Jermall Charlo is starting to get that, so that makes me excited for him. And plus, he's moving up to, I think, a exciting division. I know 160 gets shit on a lot, but there's some good names in that division, especially the top 5, top 8. He could fight any of them. He could beat any of them, in my opinion. Obviously, the guy in the division is Gennady Golovkin, but Billy Joe Saunders, Daniel Jacobs, David Lemieux, Charlo could beat those guys. I know most people are going to think Gennady Golovkin beats him, but Charlo is going to be a top elite fighter in 160 pounds. And I just think that we're due to see something great out of this young man.
I agree. He's been putting on very good performances. I know some weren't overly impressed with his performance of Austin Trout, but I think he did well in that fight. And then obviously what he was able to do in the Julian Williams fight. He's always been the bigger of the two. I remember when Cunningham fought in the Prudential Center, he was on hand because Ronnie Shields was training Spielka, I believe, and Spielka was there too. And he was telling me then that he was trying to get out of the weight, that it was difficult to make weight. So I'm excited to see how he's going to fill out in that middleweight division and really see what he does. I mean, with Peter Quillen moving up, Daniel Jacobs kind of tied up with Gennady Golovkin, and we really have to wait and see what happens with that fight, because it all depends on the outcome and the sort of punishment that Jacobs takes. Does he decide after this win or loss that it is time for him to move up? He's been at that division for a long time himself. So, I just don't know how deep that 160-pound division is or will get by the time that Charlo is there.
I think, obviously, this is maybe a beginning of a trend of big 154-pound guys moving up to 160. We have all predicted this was going to happen, that one or both the Charlos were going to move up. Andrade was going to move up eventually, and so forth and so forth. Canelo obviously is going to move up. So this could be a start of that, of these top guys at 154 that are too big for that weight class moving up, breathing some new life into the division at 160. And again, I think that Charlo, he presents a lot of issues for these top guys. Billy Joe Saunders, we don't know what he is going to do. He is paid courtesy, step aside money. So we have no idea what Billy Joe Saunders is going to do. Maybe Charlo tries to ring in a fight for that. I don't know. Obviously, there's David Lemieux, Curtis Stevens, even young prospects like Ryota Murata, and so forth and so forth. There's tons of guys that Charlo can fight and make a name for himself. And I think Charlo could be the star of that division. Let's be honest. Gennady Golovkin's the biggest star at 160, and he's not in what we have deemed stardom. He's not a star in boxing. So Charlo can come in there and really breathe so much life into that division that we haven't seen in such a long time. And I think he's instantly
I gotta stop you, man. You're talking about Jermall Charlo breathing life into a division that we haven't seen in a long time. I mean, you're acting as if Gennady Golovkin isn't there. What do you think?
But he's not. I'm talking about stardom. I'm talking about stardom, not necessarily skill, anything like that. But I'm just saying that stardom.
Me too. I mean, what is Charlo going to do that's going to make him more popular than Gennady Golovkin? I mean, you're making it seem like it's the other way around, as if Charlo could somehow, eclipse Golovkin.
Charlo can be the bad guy. That's very simple. There's no bad guy in the division. There's a bunch of good boys. There's a bunch of guys that are being the nice guy. Billy Joe Saunders is the heel of the division. He's the guy that's in everyone's faces in a way. And Billy Joe Saunders really isn't even a heel. He's more of a baby face, and those are pro wrestling terms if you don't know those. And baby face means that you are loved and heel means you're hated. But I digress. I think, seeing Jermall Charlo get showered with boos in LA was just something that I haven't seen boos like that for somebody that won ever. And there was something there, and he accepted being the villain in that moment. And I think if Jermall Charlo angles himself to be the villain at 160, he could be the star of that division. He could.
Now, you think that I guess, storyline is enough to garner a big fight? And let's not jump right to Golovkin, even though that is the big fight for him, and he would be the bad guy to the good boy in Golovkin. In the 160-pound division, who would you like to see him first mix it up? Now, he's already said that he's looking at a targeted date of around May. So, again, the first half of the year, definitely getting good. Now, I'll just read off a few names. Matt Korobov, he deals with, obviously, Top Rank. Curtis Stevens is in a fight right now with David Lemieux. Arif Magomed, he's available. Brian Rose, old in the tooth, the Lion, they call him, also available, but, he lost to Andrade at 154. Sam Solomon, we seen what Dominic Wade did to him, and very old in the tooth. Emmanuel Alim looked magnificent in the Barclays Center. Well, I wouldn't say magnificent. He did take some shots. He just happened to be the stronger man, taking out Ivan Heatroff, but maybe that would look good. You said Kurt Sadi's took some step-aside money. Maybe he's ready to mix it up with a name that we all know, like a Jermall Charlo. Ishe Smith, old in the tooth, still there. Someone's going to have to get him out of there if they don't want to hear from him. George Sebastian Highland, we've always heard of this guy. He was supposed to fight, I believe, Sergio Martinez at one point, and even, Gennady Golovkin. There were some rumors of he and Golovkin. It's never happened. He's just always been around the top 10 never really facing anybody we know. Willie Monroe is still there. Hassan and Dom Solchecki, he looked good stopping Antoine Douglas or upsetting Douglas. I'm not 100% what if it was stoppage. Now, Sergey Derevchenko, he is only 9-0, but highly ranked, very high on the rankings. Would Charlo be interested? Now, he is trained by Andre Rozier, the trainer of Daniel Jacobs. And then the more popular names you already know, Lemieux, Saunders, Jacobs, Golovkin. That was a mouthful. You got your boy Wolverine there. Let's not forget Akakov.
And it's like you asked the question, like, who should he face next? Like, and there's two different ways you need to look at it. One, if I'm the promoter or if I'm his manager, who do I tell him to fight next? Because that's very different than what me as the fan or the pundit wants to see. A guy like an Akavov, right? A guy that has limited power. He is a natural middleweight. Those type of guys are the good first fight in the division. Now,
nobody knows that guy. And
nobody knows him. Nobody knows him. No, that's just what. If I'm a manager, if I'm Charlo's manager, I'm telling you, get acclimated to the weight first, because you're already a previous champion in another weight class. Getting big fights isn't going to be hard for him. Let's get you acclimated to the weight. Let's get you used to the guys that hit that at that weight. You know, so you start with the Akavov, then you go to guys more like a Gabriel Rosado type of guy, and then like a David Lemieux.
Wait a minute. See, this is what we were arguing the other day. And it seems to me that boxing fans, depending on the name of the person, change the rules. Moving the goalposts, right? WBO grants Canelo, the availability to fight for the next title in the division above. We've seen Kell Brook jump up and face Gennady, 2 divisions above, facing the best, right? So Jermall Charlo some sort of duck or something if he tries to get acclimated to the weight. I mean, they did it to Danny when he tried.
Yeah, of course. They can call him that. But again, I'm saying if I'm his manager, if I'm his promoter, this is what I'm telling him. Now, as the pundit, as the fan, what do I want to see in first fight? I want to see like the winner of David Lemieux or Stevens. Like the winner of that fight versus Jermall Charlo in May, that'd be exciting. Now, that may be a little bit too close, obviously, with the target date.
Yeah, but how do you even make that happen with the politics?
What do you mean? Golden Boy doesn't have a lawsuit with Al Heyman.
When's the last time you seen Golden Boy do business with Al Heyman? I mean, if Stevens wins, maybe because it's main events, but even main events had a lawsuit against Al Heyman.
Haven't done business, but now with the lawsuit cleared up, there's no reason for them not to do business. Just like with Bob Arum and Al Heyman, like they had the lawsuit, they didn't do business during the lawsuit was up, and they did business together.
Listen to me, man. I hope you're right.
No, again, that's a hope. That's a feeling. That's not like I don't have.
I want to be alive. I want to be alive for the day that there really isn't any cold war between any promoters, and they all can do business, and we can, get some fights like that. But more realistic, I think, guys like Antoine Douglas, maybe Heat Trough.
Heat Trough could be possible, but they could want to bring it back up and build him back up. That's the thing. He just had his first loss.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see PBC really building, right? Like the person that they build are the ones that are winning. So maybe Charlo gets that. Maybe Charlo gets in a Wilkie Camfort type of fight in this division. So who would be a Wilkie Camfort? Not Ndam. Ndam is a skilled fighter who can box and obviously prove he has some power by knocking out Blanco and having you, the hipster, call that knockout of the year over a guy no one ever heard of. But I think Monroe would be a sexy fight. It's a big enough name. He was already
Golden Boy.
He is with Golden Boy, isn't he?
Oh, there you go.
No, he's not. Is he? No, I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure he's with the Golden Boy, isn't he?
No. That would be totally wrong because he's been with Banner all his career.
Oh, he's with Banner then. My bad. Banner works with everyone. I always forget about Banner.
Okay, so look, in terms of notoriety, right? Like what the casual fan is going to know.
What about Dominic Wade?
That could be done. And it is a Gennady Golovkin common opponent, so there might be a little bit of residual, fandom there. Like people may recognize him because of that. We got TJ Velasquez, dad and trainer, Tom Velasquez, saying he thinks Antoine Douglas would be a good comeback fight for Jermall Charlo to get acclimated to that way. And I like the Douglas fight. I don't know if Douglas could take his power though, because he had a pretty tough time with Solchecki, and he has a draw on his resume, I believe, that was pretty tough for him as well. Let me just double check that. I believe. Oh, Solchecki beating Douglas.
Yeah, Antoine Douglas lost to Curtsy. That's who he lost to.
Oh, man.
Who got paid step aside money by Billy Joe Saunders.
Look at me, every being a little bad there. Every guy looks the same almost by my standard. I apologize. I thought it was him for sure. But now, looking at his resume, this is the one that beat Centennial Jr. So you see, both of them got upsets over prospects. That's the thing. So either of these guys would be good wins. And Solchecki is with DeBella, which also makes it doable. Look, Charlo is an exciting fighter. And like you said, I guess you're right. You make a good point. He can be the bad guy. He wasn't afraid to, shun Julian Williams away and took the heat for it when it came. And, if you notice, he isn't getting much love, right? Because I Am Boxing, which is Tony Harrison from Detroit out of the Crunk Gym, who is now fighting for this vacant title that Jermall Charlo vacated versus Jarrett Swift Hurd, not to be confused with Danny Swift, but obviously from around that area, but he is in the DMV area. They'll be fighting on the Deontay Wilder, Gerald Washington undercard. I'll be live at that one, and it will be for the vacant IBF title that Jermall Charlo just vacated. So the point of all that is to say that Tony Harrison tweeted out to Jermall, Matt, and he's like, yo, thank you for vacating and not holding us up. And it was genuine. And, Jermall was like, nah, for sure. Something like, pray to God and good luck and pray to God or something like that, and then retweet, right? So that was nice. And even a nice gesture only had 8 retweets. Like, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? When you get, we talk about Spence and he's pulling in like 350. We talk about Eubank, we're talking thousands. You know what I'm saying? So 8.
Yeah, but Charlo isn't active on Twitter, in my opinion.
No, man. I've been around, bro. He's been on Twitter for a long time.
But I follow him, and I don't think that he's a active user daily on Twitter. If you look at the stars that are truly the transcendental stars of combat sports, they're on Twitter all the time. You look at Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor; those guys are on Twitter 24/7. If it's not them doing it, I
hear you making a lot of excuses for him. Listen, his talent is there. The body, the size, the power, and like you said, the attitude, the charisma, right? But let's not be fooled. I mean, he's not a star. We can't make excuses. You're trying to.
No, he's not a star right now. I'm definitely seeing that
inactivity, and look, it is what it is. A lot of people don't know him, and it's going to take a decent fight to get him in the eyes of everyone's, or at least on the tip of their tongue. I don't know. It's going to take a notable fight.
How do you think he does at 160, though?
I think he does fine. He's always been the bigger of the two. Everyone in the boxing world that knows these two men, being he and the brother, have always said that he's the bigger puncher, that he's the stronger guy. So, why would he have an issue? And again, I don't really see that division as crazy. Like, let's just play a game here. Let's just be what's that movie, right? Let's play a game.
The Saw?
Yeah, it's Saw, right? Let's play a game. Yeah. Who can he beat? Let's start from the bottom. Right. Your boy. Toyota Corolla, aka Ryota Murata.
I think Charlo beats Murata easily.
And I'm gonna go ahead to the next guy and say he definitely beats Wolverine, because this ain't Logan.
100%. Now,
Curtis Stevens, I would love to see the fight, because Curtis Stevens is fireworks for build-ups and everything, but at the end of the day, he's way too small. He does have a good reach, but I mean, Charlo's reach is nice. And Charlo's a disciplined Tommy Hearns type of fighter with the jab. You know, those Charlos, they really get behind the jab. I know that the other Charlo didn't look as great in the John Jackson fight, and everybody's already writing him off, but they can be disciplined, especially with the jab. So I think that he would definitely be Curtis Stevens, in my opinion. Would it be a fun fight? Yeah. Does Stevens have the ability to maybe get a win? Yeah, because I seen Julian. Listen, to be honest with you, Julian Williams was winning the fight, in my opinion. I don't know about you. He was winning the fight, in my opinion.
You're crazy.
What?
You're crazy. No, again, I watched it live.
I mean, okay. Let me take that back. Wait. Let me take that back because I have to remember that Charlo dropped him with a jab, so that could ruin the scorecards. But let me tell you, even the round where he fell with the jab, someone could argue that he won it, okay? He was doing good, man. All right, we gotta have to do a fucking film study. It is what it is. Patreon only. We're gonna do a film study. Okay, so you agree? Does he beat Curtis Stevens in your opinion?
Yes, I think he probably knocks him out and finishes him in the later rounds.
Because guys are so sensitive. It's not he can beat. You would pick or you would favor.
Yeah, I'd favor Charlo. And now Curtis Stevens has that knockout power that he can win any fight. Let's just be honest, he does. So if he went out there and landed a beautiful shot and finished Charlo, would I be absolutely surprised? Not really.
And that was the point of me saying that he was a bit hurt in that Julian Williams fight. So Stevens does have the power to do it, but I favor the skill of Charlo. Brian Rhodes, we're going to make this one even quicker. Now, Magdomed or Magdomed, whatever, I would have to see him more. So I'm not going to make a pick on that. But, I mean, he's so low ranked in the 60 division. I say Charlo eats him anyway without watching any footage of him. And I'm going to get faster and say Brian Rhodes is, an appetizer. Sam Solomon, he's an appetizer. Now, Emmanuel Aleem, I picked against him with the Ivan Heatroff fight, so I can't as easily pick against him now because he showed that he's a dog and that, he really wants this. That fight was fireworks. It was back and forth, and it was who had the better chin and who wanted it more. And Aleem showed that, but I don't know if that style is going to work with Charlo. I favor Charlo in the Aleem fight, but Aleem could definitely surprise us again. What about for you?
I agree. I think Aleem, obviously I picked Heatroff to win that fight, and I underrated Aleem greatly. But let's be real. Heatroff was winning that fight. Heatroff was pouring it on him. The only reason that Aleem won that is because of his incredible power. Can he land those shots?
And punch resistance, bro.
Yes, he is tough. And he can land a shot. Like Aleem is a good, solid fighter. I just think Charlo is just a little bit better. I think he's faster. I think he probably hits harder. Maybe. I Charlo.
I would say that my eye tells me that Charlo has more tools than Aleem. Now, Kurt Sides, I know he's been on Showbox like twice. Let me click on his face at least. I don't even know who this dude is.
He beat Douglas.
Seen him. No, never seen this dude. I might have seen that Douglas fight, and I don't even know. Maybe that was a Showbox that I just missed.
No, that was on like Spike or NBC.
No, this dude looks 37. Man, fuck that. Charlo wipes this dude. Come on, man. Douglas doesn't even have the pedigree of Charlo. Douglas was definitely, like homegrown,
Yeah.
And rushed because he was signed to GH3. Just check his resume. He was rushed. Okay. It would have not happened like that on the top ranks. Watch. Now this is where it starts to get a little good. Ishe's a little tough son of a gun, but we seen him kind of struggle with K9, who my man Charlo freaking, that was a morsel. That was a little appetizer morsel for him too, a dessert. What do you think about Ishe and Charlo? That shouldn't be an issue.
No. I think Ishe, like you said earlier, is just a little bit washed up now. He's a little bit old, a little bit long in the tooth, and you have a young guy coming up that hits hard. He's fast. His reflexes are like something that we haven't seen in the middleweight division for a while. I favor Charlo.
What about this? Oh my God. I should screen share Sebastian Highland's fucking. Listen, hey, Tom, I know you're listening. Make sure TJ doesn't have a fucking busted picture on BoxRec like this. What is this dude doing with this Charlie Chaplin hat. It's not even a Charlie Chaplin hat. I don't know what this is, but the point is that we've never heard of or seen Sebastian Hyland except for whenever he's in the headline for some sort of mandatory that he somehow never gets. You know, he always takes the step aside.
Mandatory for Billy Joe Saunders at one point too.
He was the mandatory for Martinez years ago, but this guy, he's taking step aside money and chilling over there in Argentina and Buenos Aires, having fun. I think Charlo wipes him. What about you?
I agree. I just don't think Hyland ever takes a fight because, like you said, he's making money somehow sipping Mai Tais in Argentina.
No, he's making money taking the step asides, bro. He gets in position, then he sells his position. Willie Monroe, now that's a fight I would like to see because Charlo, again, I don't know if it was Julian Williams' timing, if it was his confidence, but he was beating Charlo to the punch. Charlo got him with the shot from underneath that he didn't see, regardless of whatever MD laugh you want to use. We got to go back and watch that fight. It was a short fight. You'll see Julian was doing very well. So now can a guy like Monroe, El Mongoose, right? Someone who prides himself on Cuban boxing, who's going to think boxing first, cause Charlo some problems because, again, that shot came from underneath. Yes, he did it, Yes, the jab also dropped Julian. So it seems like in the long run, Charlo was going to put it together regardless because of his fundamentals, but he still was looking a little like deer in the headlights when it came to. I'm telling you, man, we got to watch that fight. I can't believe you don't. We got to watch.
You don't think Charlo was just being a counter boxer and just trying to set up traps the whole fight? Because that's how I viewed it. I viewed him just gauging J-Rock the whole time because he knew he had the range, he knew he had the speed, he knew he had the power. So he was just trying to set up a trap.
Missed a lot, man. He was missing a lot.
J-Rock was off the sound line very well.
J-Rock never was where he thought he was going to be until the two times that he caught him with the jab and that uppercut, man. It wasn't like he was clocking him. J-Rock was picking him off, man. Oh, man, we got to watch that
fight. You think J-Rock was picking him off? Oh, my God. Okay.
Oh, my God. Yo, find me a link.
Whatever you were smoking during that fight was some good shit, Ness. Was some good shit. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, okay. What else we got on this list? Who else is up?
You were at Willie Monroe, and I didn't give my opinion on that. I think Willie Monroe is a more refined version of like an Aleem. So I think he would give more trouble to a Charlo. But I think that the style to beat Charlo isn't a boxer-first counter boxer like Willie Monroe, because Willie Monroe Jr. to me is a counter boxer in the same ilk of Charlo. I think that fight would actually look kind of ugly just because of the style matchup. I want to see it still because I think they're both very skilled. But I favor Charlo just because I think he's just better in every way than Willie Monroe.
Now, this is where it starts to get sexy, right? Because like you know, Selchecki, he got the big knockout over Douglas, and damn, coming off that last win, looking good. Excuse me, Selchecki got the win over Centennial, who also had to draw with Julian Williams, but many thought Williams beat, right? And then Dominic Wade. I would favor Charlo over Wade. So getting Wade out of the way, it's Selchecki, Derevchenko, Lemieux, Saunders, Jacobs, Golovkin next. So, we could even put Willie Monroe and Dom. That's a good, I don't know. I don't know which one of those. You're the manager. Who do you give him first? And Dom, I know who you're going to go with. So it's Monroe and Dom, Derevchenko, Lemieux, Saunders, Jacobs, Golovkin.
If I'm his manager, I definitely stay away from Derevchenko because he just brings nothing to the table. I'd probably go with Nate Dom because historically speaking, he's not a power puncher. That's why you go with him. Now, yes, he didn't knock out Alfonso Blanco in a brutal knockout, potential knockout of the year contender last year. But historically speaking, he's not the knockout puncher. So you go with Nadam. And then, honestly, I think the David Lemieux is the fight you go for that propels you to the Gennady Golovkins, potentially Canelo when he moves up, those big fights. But
if he goes Lemieux and beats him, you said it. He's at Golovkin next. You don't think he needs a couple of fights in that division? I would give
I
him
don't think
Monroe.
Dom would be the first fight in the division.
Yeah, I think he should go like Monroe, then and Dom, or even Wade, Monroe, and Dom, then Golovkin.
I almost guaranteed, now that we've been talking about that, he's going to fight Dominic Wade just because they're both under Al Heyman. Like, it just makes sense.
Yeah, but sometimes they don't do it that way.
True.
To kind of like save the guys, right? Because look at what happened with Berto Danny. That shit didn't happen.
Yeah, but obviously they're not saving Dominic Wade. Otherwise, they would not have positioned him to be a mandatory to Gennady Golovkin. Right?
You sound almost insane right now. They didn't position him. He got in position by fighting. Just so happened Golovkin.
Who did he beat to become the number one mandatory? I think it was for the IBF. I want to say.
It was for the IBF. And it wouldn't matter. Think about Harrison and Hurd right now.
That's a much more credible fight for a number one contender spot.
Listen to me. No,
it was originally a number one contender spot. That's a legit
fight. Got to the title. It's credible because the two men we know and we like and we think it'll be a good fight. But fucking Hurd beating Jojo Dan at 54, who's never fought at 54, and Harrison being knocked out by Willie Nelson doesn't merit you a title shot, bro. Like this, let's be for real. This
wasn't Tony Harrison's last fight, though, was it?
Probably not. He probably had one after that, excuse me. Check it. I mean, Harrison is in this division. Look, and we're talking about, we haven't even mentioned neither of the two. We talked about 20 fighters, not named them.
Well, they're not in this division. They're at 154.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
No wonder.
Charlo moving up.
Yeah, Charlo moved up. No wonder. So, yeah, man.
Who do you think gives Charlo more trouble at the top? A David Lemieux or a Billy Joe Saunders?
What'd you say, Matt? I'm sorry. I had to take a call.
Who do you think gives him more trouble at the top? David Lemieux or Billy Joe Saunders?
I would say Billy Joe Saunders, man. I think Lemieux is so Lemieux is so regular, man.
Yeah, but do you see Billy Joe's last fight?
People don't even talk about Lemieux anymore because that's it. He already lost to Gennady Golovkin, so no one needs to lie about his resume anymore.
Yeah, but like losing to the best in the division doesn't make you a bum.
I didn't say it did.
I know you didn't, but that's what some people might think.
Before he fought him, people would try to say how good he was. You know, so we will see that. We will see that. I mean, I see him on social media saying he's going to knock out this bum. He's calling Stevenson a bum or Stevens a bum, right? And that I always love that. That means they're coming to get some fireworks in.
For the record, Tony Harrison has a 3-fight winning streak since that Willie Nelson knockout. And he beat Fernando Guerrero in that time as well.
So that's the biggest name in the 3-fight winning streak, huh?
It's the most notable one. It's not the best.
How many losses is Guerrero coming off of? Come on, buddy.
3 losses. 3 losses and you're shit?
The career 154-pounder that never could make 54, remember?
True.
He's always been at 160, all right? Because I don't want anybody to be like, no, Ness, he only had
but come on. The Tony Harrison-Jarrett Hood fight, for what it was, a number one contender fight, is much better than what Dominic Wade probably got to be the number one contender. I can't remember the guy that Dominic Wade.
I don't know because, again, Matt, look at how we got here. You're telling me Harrison beat Fernando Guerrero to get a title shot. Jesus. I need to turn into a fucking boxer.
No, he didn't beat him to become a title shot. He beat him to get a fight for a title shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He beat Fernando Guerrero, who we know, like, yo, when's the last time he got a legitimate win? A semi-decent. Fuck it. I'll give you a C-level. Tell me what C-level fighter Guerrero beat in the last decade. He hasn't, bro. I watch this sport. He hasn't, man. I know him well. He's Dominican, bro. I love him. He's from Salisbury, Maryland. He used to pack 8,000. What happened with him is he fought at 160. He was way too small. He needed to get the 54. For whatever reason, it was too hard for him. He even trained with Barry Hunter, Virgil Hunter, everybody. He trained with everybody, but he couldn't get the 54. When he got the 54 to that one fight, Grady's Brewer knocked him out. So then he said, fuck that. See, I listened to everybody. They told me I was too small for 60. I sucked down to get the 50, and I got knocked out by someone who wasn't supposed to knock me out. I'm going back to 60. Goes back to 60, and check his record. Everyone knocks him out. or he goes down 6 times per fight. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right. You're right.
Come on. He's
I'm not
too
saying Fernando Guerrero's good. I'm not.
Yo, and listen, and Tony Harrison, I like him. I think he's the goods. Like, he's got a great jab, good boxing IQ. He was outboxing the shit out of Willie Nelson, in my opinion, the shit out of Willie Nelson. And then Willie Nelson clocked him, cleaned his clock. Listen, we've been eating it up enough. Unless you got anything else that you think Charlo should or shouldn't do in this new 160-pound division, let's get to these callers and wrap this thing up.
No, I'm good. Let's go to El Camino Electric.
Actually, we got Amber Kuntz working on the job. She's going to give us the new one. So we'll hold off on it. We'll go to Coach Schmitty. Talk to me. Maybe Coach is working. You can't talk right now, Mitty?
We got Canadian Jose on the line.
Well, let's do it. Bring him in.
Boys,
Jose.
this topic, these fighters, these matchups, they're about as sexy as a toothless tranny, man. Can't believe you guys are talking about this, man. Tell me why
Don't worry, we'll be back.
Fan,
We'll be back around 2:30 or 2:15 to talk Adrian Broner and the weigh-in.
Yo, Charlo's only going to be interesting if he actually gets up and fights someone that we care about, man. Like, him going up to 160 would be interesting. But I think a lot of that depends on how Triple G does against Jacobs, man. If Triple G kills Jacobs, then why even bother, man? He should just stay at 154 and see what happens there. You know, there's just no competition at 60 if Triple G wipes the floor with Jacobs, right? I don't think Charlo could do anything to him at all. So, I mean,
but Styles make fights, bro. Styles make fights, man. Styles make fights, and a guy that
Charlo's not Jacobs. Like, Charlo is not Jacobs at all. He doesn't box like Jacobs. He doesn't have the chin of Jacobs.
And he has a more disciplined jab. This
way better footwork. Way better footwork than Jacobs.
I don't know about footwork.
Yeah, but this fight right now with Triple G, in my opinion, will show us how good Triple G really, really is. Like, obviously, he's special. He's got power, all that stuff. But I believe Jacobs is a real competitor and somebody that will probably give him the best test he'll have at 60. So if Jacobs just gets wiped out, then why bother, man? Like, you can say what you want about Charlo, but he's not levels above Jacobs. And if Triple G really starches Jacobs, then what's the point? That's my take on it. But,
did Matt say that? Matt, you said he's levels above Jacobs?
Who?
You said Charlo's levels above Jacobs?
No, I didn't say levels. I don't think I did.
Well, all right, Jose. Gracias for calling in. Let's get to 832. You're live on TBV. Who's this? First time calling in?
No, I called in before. It's Brandon from H-Town.
Brandon from Houston, Texas. What's going on, brother?
I think it's great, Charlo moving up, man. I think Charlo should fight Willie Monroe. That'll be a great fight, especially if they do it here in Houston. And
I would love that too. I'm
ready
to go to Texas, man.
Did you hear that Lara called out his brother?
I mean, I didn't see that, man. I seen something else. You know what I mean? I seen like, oh, I don't want to fight them, but I'll fight the brother, like that, you know? So, and I think it's because he left Ronnie Shields, so you know what I mean? So I think Ronnie's willing to sick the wolves on him.
Yeah.
Because you know that Jermall Charlo, the brother, the 154-pounder, you know that he is with Earl Spence's trainer, Derek James.
Yeah. I think that can only improve his power. He's coming off of 2 knockout wins. Even though he kind of edged it a little bit, you know.
Who do you think has more power based off what you've seen, Charlo or Triple G?
Oh, I have to say Triple G because his consistency. Like if Charlo would have knocked out Trout, then we would have, then I would have had to say they were even. But You know, he could knock out Trout, and you know, at least Canelo, you know, was able to knock Trout down, and Charlo wasn't able to do that, even though Charlo's my boy. You know.
No, man, for sure, man. I'm glad to hear you call in,
And
Brandon. You know, supporting your fellow Texan.
Matt, can I get it? Was Matt still there?
Yeah. What's up?
Hey, Matt, knock MD's ass out. That nigga talks too much shit.
I got you, Brandon. Don't worry, man.
Brandon, thanks for calling in, brother. This is a spontaneous show, so we're keeping the phone lines moving. Let's see if the good keeps the number there so we can address you properly. Let's get out to multiple nominee, right? I mean, how many categories is Marcus from DC in? Marcus, talk to us.
Oh, my God. Matt is not in the uproar that the previous caller said. MD knocked that nigga out.
Yeah. Now because it's talking about him in a good way, he don't mind it.
Got you, huh? I guess he had to say catfish, and then Matt's hand will be in the air.
Yo, wait till MD hears that. He's gonna be texting the hell out of Matt.
Oh, he will be. Damn, God, he's gonna blow up my.
Hey, check this out. In the state of Jermall Charlo, right? Usually guys like that who are champions who move up, they tend to go up and fight one fight and then the champion. So, in my opinion, you know, I think he probably best off going up and going right at like a Billy Joe Saunders in England. You know what I'm saying? Get that chicken for going up there. He might as well get paid, right? Saunders might see him as, you know what I'm saying, possibly vulnerable coming up from 54. It might actually show up to take the fight, you know? Before, you know, I mean, I don't think we have an issue about whether we think Jermall Charlo can box or whether he got power. I mean, I know Ndam is becoming a gatekeeper, but I don't think it's necessary. Maybe a Tariano Johnson one time, you know.
Oh, that would be a fun fight, but he should be able to beat Tariano easily, man.
Yeah, the question is, I guess, from a financial standpoint, whether it makes sense. But he should, that's what I'm saying. He should be able to beat Tariano, but it's a good fight. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, Marcus.
I guess they staged it in Houston.
You sure we should be speaking in those terms, like from a financial? Is Charlo there? For one, he's vacated the title, so he's going to be a new pup in a new division. Does he really get some sort of champion status?
What I'm saying is, no. What I'm saying is, like for real, if he'd have held the belt and decided he wanted to be like, he can't be Gennady's number one with the IBF. So what's your man got the WBO, Billy Joe, right? But what I'm saying is that usually he's leaving undefeated, right? I'm saying for him not to be a financial puller, to fight Tariano, who's not necessarily a financial puller, I don't know necessarily that they see that as a viable monetary match. It's a good boxing match, but I don't see, you know what I'm saying, because Charlo's not bringing in no money.
No, I see what you're saying.
But if Charlo goes over and he beats a Billy Joe Saunders, right, then maybe it makes him more of a viable, you know what I'm saying, interest to the casual fan who may want to see Charlo versus Triple G at that point, you know, in the event that, because Triple G still say he's taking another fight before the Canelo fight. Canelo agrees that he's still going to take another fight in the summer. So Marcus, that can either be Charlo or Billy Joe, depending on how Charlo moves, you know. If I were Charlo, I'd go straight at Billy Joe. He on the couch. He just finished fighting at the YMCA the other day. I mean, he ripe for picking, you know. But, I mean, man, big dude, you know what I'm saying? Might as well step to 160 and see what, you know what I'm saying? Let your nuts hang, you know. I'm out.
That boy always got a mouthful. I'm trying to keep it short. We got to come back for that Broner weigh-in show. We want to see what Broner going to look like. Larry, San Francisco. Larry on the elliptical over there. Larry.
Hey, no, I'm here. I'm out in the warehouse. That's why. Hey, but big ups to the boxing voice. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you, Larry.
Okay. Hey, appreciate the spontaneous show as always. Thank you very much. No, good news on Charlo. It was inevitable. It was time to move up. He got a spectacular win in 154 and then got up out of there. But really, though, I only want to see him against Triple G. I think there are some fights that are more than credible. I think Lemieux would be intriguing. And I'm assuming Triple G beats Jacobs, by the way, which I think will happen. But at the end of the day, it's how fast you can get that Triple G fight. if I were him, I'd try to stall it a year, let Triple G maybe get a little bit longer in the tooth and try to get him next year. But that's how we're going to measure Jermall Charlo for what he does against Triple G. Hey, but last thing, I got to get Ness's back on something. J-Rock was outboxing Charlo in that fight in December. Matt, your analogy to, or your allusion to him down and setting traps, I hear what you're saying, but that's what Canelo did to Amir Khan. He allowed Khan to hit him with his no power, have himself, and set him up and landed the perfect shot. J-Rock actually was outboxing and landing great shots, showing great movement, but his chin and Charlo's power were his downfall at the end. So I think so on the lines of Canelo and Khan and the J-Rock Charlo fight. But my opinion, we all got him. Love y'all. I'm out.
No, it's interesting, Larry, just because I think the opposite. I thought that Canelo was actually getting touched a bit, and then he just, as he always does, he sets up that right hand over top by throwing that right to the body. That's just what he does in every fight. So that's how I saw that fight compared to the Charlo Williams fight. But hey, different opinions, different strokes for different folks.
Hey, what's up? I'll make it real quick. Well, I feel like Charlo, when he go to 160, I feel like his first fight, he shouldn't jump in there with like Triple G and nothing like that. I think he should take it slow, like go against somebody like Andy Lee. I think that'd be a good first fight at 160. That truly test his chin out. And then slowly, so like he can go against the one Curtis Stevens and David Lemieux. And then like the third fight, then I can see him matching up against the one Canelo and Triple G. I think that'll even be a bigger fight in the future. And I wasn't able to call in yesterday, so I'm going with Adrian Broner, late round stoppage, and that's all I got.
All right. Listen, I want to address a couple of things people have been saying. One, starters, is Larry. He said that Charlo needs to wait about a year to get the fight. He doesn't have to wait, really. He's not going to be able to get a Triple G fight before that. Triple G's all booked up this year for sure.
Maybe. What do you mean he's all booked up? Like, he has one fight scheduled, that's it.
He's all booked up. You know it and I know it. Your best guess, your most intelligent guess of his very next summer fight.
I don't think he fights Billy Joe Saunders or Canelo next. He may fight one of them this year.
He's having.
There's no way he fights Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders this year. He may fight one of them this year, but he doesn't fight both of them this year.
3 fights this year, okay? You wait and see. Today is February 17th. What do we got here? GT Kid, Atlanta.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Real quick, I don't think Charlo's gonna fight Gennady Golovkin, because here's why. 2017 is already set for him. He's got Jacobs here in a couple months, and the thing with Billy Joe Saunders is set up after that, supposedly. And then logically, I mean, he'll have all the belts, and the last person to fight at 160 is going to be Canelo if he wants to fight. If not, then he may do like a Eubanks Jr. or something. But Charlo's just setting himself up to be in position to fight for titles at 160 once Golovkin vacates. Because once he gets all the belts and defends maybe once, he's going to vacate 160 and go to 68. There's just no reason to stay at 160 and just keep staying there while people run from him. So, I mean, Charlo's being smart. But something about Charlo and about Laura is that both of these guys had the titles at the weight division below 160. So if they really wanted to press to get a fight with Golovkin, they could have just done the same thing Canelo just did, is say, I've got the belt in the weight division below, make me the mandatory at the next weight division up for the champion. And they could have pressed the fight. So every time Laura throws out those jabs after his fight, I want to fight GGG. Doesn't make sense. If he really wanted to fight, he could press to get the fight, but he hasn't because he doesn't want to fight. So that's all I got, though.
All right. Matt, breaking news. This is almost a show in its own. MD, a Miguel Cotto move. He said, since I'm going out of my way, having to take the day off from school and drive an hour and a half each way, the A side demands a Patreon, a PayPal of $150, whatever it is. You can tell Matt that or say it on air, because as far as I'm concerned, I need to be compensated. I could be in class and I'm the A side. So there you go. Fight might be off.
Did MD really text that to you?
Yo, bro. I mean, look, you're the one that wants to fight, and he's the med student, and he's the A side. Without him, there's no fight.
Said no. He could have said no before I got the ticket.
But
I bought the ticket before. I bought the ticket before even the callers donated money.
All right,
I thought it was for sure going to happen.
All right, but listen to this. Listen to this. Be honest with yourself. You and I both know that he said no a lot. You cornered him. But I mean, this is a Cotto move, right? It's a diva move. I mean, I don't know. We're going to Donald on the trap phone.
On, very quickly. I'll pay him that money personally, but the bet for the dinner thing is off because that's my Canelo move.
Canelo move.
Wow.
So well he's Canelo because he telling you that you got to take his purse or no fight. He's like, the point is, he's right. You won't get a pay-per-view without him. Who else are you going to fight right now? It's over. He did some Alexander Povetkin shit. You see why fucking Wilder took him to court?
He did some Alexander Povetkin shit.
Last minute, the day before the fight, he's like, fuck that. We leave Monday.
You know why? Because last night, he knew that I wasn't joking anymore. Because he knew that he crossed the line. He crossed the line and disrespected me as a person. Because we can call each other idiot about boxing opinions and shit like that, and we don't care. Once you start attacking a person for them just as a human being, you cross the line. And then he realized I was upset, and now he wants to back out because he feels the heat.
He thinks he's gonna bring the pain, so he's like, "Fuck that! I need $150 worth of medical bills. I need $150 worth of ice packs and shit." Donald, talk to us, man.
Man, okay. Y'all super hijacked me, but it's good. I got 50 on that. I will put 50 on that. If y'all need 150, I got 50.
Send it in because the A side is not playing. He says, look, I'm a medical student. Like, what do you guys expect?
If I give y'all 50, y'all need to YouTube the fight or something where I could get on my computer and sit and watch it as it happened. And I got 50 of that. Okay.
Well, you'll get to see it for sure. You'll get to see it for sure. I don't know, if it's gonna be live because we wanna edit, make sure everything looks good, the lighting and stuff.
Okay, well, that's fine. It doesn't have to be live or anything like that. But to Charlo moving to 160, I think that's good. Charlo, he's got some good power. You know what? I would say that he could beat Triple G and knock him out. But the only fight that he had that makes me doubt that he could not beat Triple G is the Trout fight. He could not knock Trout out. He cannot knock Trout down. Trout is maybe about the same size as Triple G or maybe smaller. I want to say that I think Trout is maybe 5'9" or 5'10", and Triple G is maybe 5'10" or 5'11", and we know Triple G has way more power. But I know that Charlo will give I think Charlo will give Triple G his fucking best fight. I think Charlo would even give a Triple G a better fight than Canelo would because you know how Canelo fights in spurts and he fights for like 30 seconds after 3 minutes and tries to stay out of the pocket most of the fight. But I think Charlo will get in there and say, let's go, let's do it, and go for the knockout. So I would definitely like to see that fight, but he does need to take 3 fights at 160, then go for the fight. And I think with Lemieux having a really great punching power and having a high KO percentage like Triple G does, I think Lemieux will be a great test for the waters for him at 160. You got Nadam too. Torino Johnson, you guys said that. Chris Eubank Jr. will be good, but we all know how Chris Eubank Jr. is. He wouldn't fight Charlo because he's saying all these crazy-ass stipulations and the fight would never happen. And
I would say his first fight at 160 could be Willie Monroe Jr. That would be a first kind of step your foot in 160. What do you guys think about that? Willie Monroe Jr. for his first fight?
Yeah, we tossed that name back and forth. Donna, we're going to get to some other calls. You know this is a spontaneous one. And you got a little bit of video game background noise there. I know it's not an actual video game, but it does sound like one.
Mr. Info Joe.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my brother.
What's up? What's up? What's up? You know it ain't no show without Info Joe. Yo, Ness, tell MD stop acting like a diva because he was going to go out there anyway, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's what he's saying. Like, yo, he was gonna go out to meet, not get into a fight. And hey, Joe, to be honest, Matt knows he's been the bully. Like MD always said he didn't want to do this.
You can't be a guy 50 pounds less than the person and be the bully. Get the fuck out of here.
What? Mike Tyson was smaller than all the heavyweights, bro.
Yeah, but he had the biggest head, man. His head was ginormous. Come on.
Hey, whatever happened, man, y'all have a beer after work. But thanks for the show, brother. Hey, give him I believe put Charlo in there with Andy Lee first or Wade. And I think he beats after that. Put him in there with Saunders. He beats Saunders. He beats a lot of them, man. He would give Triple G a hell of a fight. He possibly can beat Triple G, man. I believe in the guy's skills, man. He's been in there with Laura and Steel Sharp and Steel, man. This dude is Charlo is a pretty good fighter, in my opinion. So, and I think he beats a good portion of the top five, man. My opinion.
All right,
That's
Joe.
my call, brother.
Thanks for
All right.
calling in, brother. Can't wait to see you March 3rd. If you want to meet up with Info Joe and Matt, we're going to be calling him Black Eye Matt by then if this fight goes down. But, yeah, man, head on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com/reunion and find out what all the hoopla is about this TBV Appreciation Night. Or follow the hashtag TBV Appreciation Night, and see what we do. Someone who's going to be new to the Appreciation Night and on the line, fellow truck driver, honk that horn, JD. I mean, NO plays the horn for us. What's going on?
I got you, man.
Okay.
But yo, I missed the show last night. I want to really quick make my picks. I'm picking Brona. Unfortunately, Lamar Peterson and who else was on that card? Is it the Jerry Hurd or no? I forgot who else is on.
No, it's Lamont Peterson, David Avanesian, and you have Marcus Brown, Thomas, Top Dog Williams.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm going with Top Dog on that one. But I agree with you, Matt, about the whole racist situation. I was listening to the show. I agree with Matt the whole way. Just leave that shit out of. It wasn't about the point of the N-word. It's the way his whole like the immigrants and shout out to Trump and all this. Leave that shit out of boxing, man. Just leave all of it out of boxing and I'll beat your ass or I'm gonna get my ass whooped, you know, that kind of talk or whatever, man. But just leave all the rest of that shit out. But about Charlo, real quick, you know, I live in Houston, man. I'm real big on these dudes. I honestly feel like he will be the third guy in that weight class. I don't think he'll beat Triple G or Jacob, but you know he's right there in the number 3 spot. So Canelo keep ducking him. Yo, real quick, man, I don't see how Canelo gets. I don't even want to get started on this guy, man. He ain't fight none of these top dogs, and he just I don't know, man.
He fought more top
He got
dogs
his
than
ass whooped by
Charlo.
Lara.
He fought more top dogs than Charlo.
He got his ass whooped by Lara. He got his ass whooped by Lara. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude, I don't know, man. They ducking him. Golden Boy know what the fuck they doing, man.
Well, JD, we're going to
That's
let
all
you
I
go,
got,
brother,
man.
because we want to wrap this one up. We want to come right back in a couple of minutes as the Broner weigh-in starts. You know he's probably going to be late, so we don't really need to rush. But we do want to be there live to see what he actually weighs in at. Showtime doing such a good job of painting him in a different light this time around on their social media. Matt, what do you think?
As in like a man that's matured and now he's all grown up, that sort of angle. I think it's interesting because I think the thing that has made Broner, in a sense, a star, or whatever star he is, whatever level of stardom he has been his bad boy persona, has been him playing into that character. And we can go on about the nuances of that character, but we know the reality of the effect of that character he had. So now it seems a little bit different. You know, I don't know if it's going to help him. I think it may help him just from a boxing standpoint if he is mature, and I hope he is, because I think a Broner that is focused on boxing is a Broner that can beat a lot of guys. And
why are we still asking, is he going to be focused, or he may, if he comes in focused? I mean,
some guys have that problem. Like, look at Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran had focus problems his whole career.
Matt, my question is not, is he going to be focused? Is my question. Didn't he show us he's not focused already by the fight being contracted at 140? Now it's 147 and maybe more, because
I've always thought that he was going to move up to 147 eventually anyways. That's my personal opinion. So it be fit.
Stop trying to make it seem like this was 147 pounds.
It wasn't. I know that, but maybe he's still in shape. You know, like that could be a thing. Now we're going to see at the weigh-ins. Like the weigh-ins is going to be the way we're going to tell if he looks maybe gaunt. Maybe he was way out of shape in between fights and he was cutting down so much he couldn't make 140. So that's why he made it 147, and he's still going to look gaunt. Or he's going to look fit. He's going to look filled out. Or he's going to look fat. We don't know. There's a lot of things he's going to look like, and the weigh-ins will help determine that.
It just sucks for Granados because, you know, he's not a 147 pounder.
No, he is not.
This is not what he
140
wanted,
pounder.
you know. But it is what it is. Listen, man, this has been another little spontaneous show bringing you the headline that Jermall Charlo vacated his junior middleweight title, the IBF version of that. He no longer is a champion, but he moves up with his big punching clout, at least. You know, there is an aura around him that he is a puncher and a big junior middleweight, so we'll see how he fills out. You know, I think it was Larry that said maybe one fight. I think Charlo's thinking the same way. His Twitter feed reads, to be the best, you have to beat the best. And that was a reply when questioned who will he fight next. So let's see what his version or his route to the best is. I'm excited. I like these kids, especially this one. He definitely made a name for himself in 2016. So I'm hoping 2017 brings a lot for him, the way that it's bringing for TBV. So head on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com/reunion. Get your RSVP. No, don't even RSVP because there's no more room for that. Get your tickets in before they're all gone. Man, I was doing the list, and we are having a lot of fighters. Matt's going to be there. You know, Enrique, casual fan, is going to be there. DJ Hollywood from SiriusXM is going to be there. I mean, Deontay Wilder, Austin Trout, Willie Monroe, Zachary Ochoa, Oscar Moreno, man, Coach Kelly Richardson, Eric Kelly. I mean, it's going to be too many people, bro. It's going to be too many people. You better come. DSG sponsored it. Effing Vodka sponsored it. I mean, it's just crazy. WBC sponsored it. I mean, you know, you're going to have some great goodie bags. You're going to get to take home some cool stuff, some swag, and say, you know what? I did that all hanging out with TBV while enjoying myself, you know, eating 5-star dining catered food from Aliana, a very, very, sexy chef, by the way. New York City's diverse like that. So, we get sexy everything. Gotta go. Bye.